Hi, this is an introduction video to functions in C++. If you are already familiar with functions in C, this will be just a revision for you. So let us understand very basic thing, what is function. So you can think about a function as a block of code. So you can think about it, it's a block of code, and a block of code is identified by a name. So I'll say let's name it as my function, and this is a block of code, and if my block of code performs a task and it is returning anything, then it will have a return type, and it will be, and if my function is taking any arguments, it might have an argument list. So you can think about a function is nothing but a block of code that will have some program statements into it, and whenever I want that program statements should be executed, I can call that function. So you can think about, you have a program, and in a program you have a function. So let's say this is your program, and in this program, whenever you want that certain block of code should be executed, you can call that function. So you can write my function, and this is the way how you can invoke a function. So at this point I am invoking a function. So typically what will happen is that your program is going to execute statement by statement. Let's assume that your program starts the execution from line number 1, and it goes on executing, and the moment it is going to encounter a function call, the program execution will jump to the function body, it will execute the function, and after the function is executed, it will return back from where it was called, and then the remaining block of statements will be executed. And let's say again, if you have the call to the function, again let's say you are calling that function my function, then again what will happen is that again that block of code will be executed, and after the block of code is completed, the function will return back to the program, and the remaining statements of the program will be executed. So you can think about a function is basically a block of code, and you can invoke that block of code whenever you want to run that logic in your main program. So let's understand how we can define a function, call a function in a code. So I'll write a function. Let's write a very simple function called as my fun. Let's name that function as my fun, and it has a block, and as of now this function is not taking any parameters, not performing any task, and let's say this function is also not returning anything. So I've written a function by name my fun, and I'll say this is a function definition, and if I want to write any logic, I can write the logic or the body of function here. I can write the program statements in this. Now let's write some simple program statements as simple as cout hi. So it's a very simple program statement, and it will just display a hi message on the screen. And since we are using cout object, so I need to include iostream, and I can write std : cout. So this is a function, and this function just displays hi, and whenever I want to display the message, I can just call this function my fun, and it will do the job. And let's write our main code, and in our main function we'll invoke my fun. So we are calling the function. So this is the program statement, which is nothing but a function call. What we have written here is a function definition. We can say body of function, and again what happens is that the compiler also needs to check whether the function call that you have made is it rightly made or not. Now C++ is a strictly typed language, and C++ says that for every call the compiler is supposed to check with the declaration. Means the compiler will check that the function whatever is being called what is the return type of the function, is it matching, what is the name of the function, and what's the argument list. So I'm providing a function declaration. This is called as a function declaration. It's also called as prototype. It's also called as signature. So basically what we can do in C++ is that when you're calling a function, you need to ensure that the function declaration is in place and the call is in sync with the declaration. And the compiler is basically responsible to check whether the function call is matching the function declaration. And if it is not matching the function declaration, then it will throw an error. Later on, when the program runs, what will happen is when this call is made, the control will be transferred to this function, and then the body of the function will be executed. And after the function is executed, it will come back to main from where the call was made, and the remaining code will be executed from there. So there are three things that we can see right now. We can see there is a concept of function declaration, prototype, signature, one and the same thing. There's a concept of a function call, and a function call will be checked with a function declaration, and there's a job of a compiler to check that. And as I said, C++ is a strictly typed language, so declaration is required. And this is a function definition or function body, and a runtime when the function is called, the control will be transferred to the function and the body of the function will be executed. So that's a very simple and a basic concept to understand. So here we saw what is a function, how to write a function, what is a function declaration, function call, and function definition. Moving ahead, we'll learn more about functions in C++. We'll talk about inline function, function overloading, and many other concepts.